Cheers. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we are back with a pregnancy Q&A. I know I had my fancy schmancy mic on last time, but I don't think it's got any battery left. So we're without mic today, so I'm sorry about that. It's nice and rainy outside, so you might hear some rain. Grab yourself a brew. I've got this Primark mug that I got last year. Turks is scratching on some Fender guitar cases, and we're gonna go straight in with some pregnancy Q&A. For context, I am pregnant with baby number 2. That is actually like just so delicious. Okay, let's go straight in. The first question is, not in a snarky way, but genuinely curious, why have another baby if you're constantly complaining about the first one and how your husband is never home? That was sent anonymously, and I completely understand why you would want to send that question anonymously. I'm assuming, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming that you're not a mum, whoever sent that question in. Yeah, it doesn't give like parent, doesn't give mum energy, doesn't give parent energy. But I understand that is a completely fair question to ask, and I'm not offended by that. I don't think a mum would send that. I don't know if you might, I mean, that sounds like you haven't followed me for that long, or if you do, you might not pay too much attention to what I post, because I don't actually complain about Athena. There's nothing wrong with her. I obviously talk about classic parenting things. Like recently I posted like we're in that toddler stage where she only wants to eat fruit, blah, 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 blah. But I don't actually complain about Athena herself, because I could not wish for a better daughter. She's I know I'm biased. She's perfect. She's so easy. I know toddler and easy doesn't really go in the same sentence, but she really is. And people say it all the time. Like, if I had to suddenly leave Athena with you, whoever you are, I don't mean the person who sent the question, I mean anyone watching this. If I had to leave her with you for whatever reason and I had to dart off, you wouldn't need to worry, because she's just easy. She's easy. She's so easy. She's perfect. She's amazing. And yes, obviously she has her moments, but they're very few and far in between. So I actually don't complain about Athena. You are very wrong there. I do offload about solo parenting and the transition into motherhood and things like that, because that's part of my job. Part of my job is sharing my life online, and that is my life. And what I would really hate to do is just to convey this like perfect aspirational image of what parenting is like, or being married to somebody in a band. I would never do that. I know that there are misconceptions of what it is like being an actor, being a content creator, being someone in a band, that kind of like rock and roll lifestyle. And I like to pride myself in like sharing both sides. Like, I'm the first person to share the highs and the cool things we get up to and the people we meet, and like meeting your heroes or being backstage and stuff. I'm the first to share that, but I'm also the first person to bring everything back down to reality and just say, look, this is what it's like. I want to show both sides of the coin, and I never just want to focus on just one side. And lately, obviously, I have obviously been solo parenting a lot, and part of my content now, which is my life, is that I solo parent a lot. And I talk about that because what I find is that if I'm honest, I don't know anyone in exactly the same position as me, obviously, but I would like to think that there may be people out there in similar positions that might find the content relatable. And I know whenever and it's been rare, but if I've seen somebody in like a similar position to me, I felt seen, I felt validated, I felt less alone. And it's really important especially in motherhood, because it is so difficult. It's the best thing ever, and I love every second of it, but it's tough. But as I said before, with regards to like pregnancy and stuff, two things can be true at once. I can absolutely love being a mum, love spending time with her, but I can also find it really difficult. I can love being married to a musician and all the perks that come with it, but I can also find it difficult. Not the marriage, it's the logistics that I find hard. I don't find being with Faisal hard at all. And I share that. The reason I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the reason I don't think you're a parent is because, and I hate to say this because I'm so aware of how it sounds, and before I became a parent, whenever I would see a mum say this, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But if you aren't a mum, you just don't get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, before I became a mum, I didn't get it. And I feel really bad for my friends, especially when we were a lot younger, who became mums young. And I feel really sorry that I didn't get it, and that I wasn't there, and that I didn't understand. I want another baby. I mean, this pregnancy was a surprise, but I do want another baby. I've always wanted two. I think did I mention in my pregnancy video that I don't know if I did, but I want two, because I want three, but I don't think I can have three, so like two seems perfect. Like, I want to raise humans, and it doesn't matter how difficult it is, I still want to do it. And yeah, I want two, because I've always wanted more than one, and they're going to be there for each other growing up, and it'll be easier as they get older. And I am such a big firm believer in going through the really tough parts now so that it's easier in the future. I'm like that with all aspects of my life, like put the graft in now so that it's easier in the future. And this is a prime, example of that. I hope that makes sense. I hope that answers the question. I appreciate the question. It's a completely valid question. And I don't think it was snarky at all, apart from you saying I'm constantly complaining about the first one, as in Athena, because I'm not. When Faisal's home, I'll be sharing everything online about how amazing it is that he's home. And then when he's not, I'll be sharing about how difficult it is that he's not home. And I think as well, what makes me talk about it more is the feedback I get, like in my DMs and on comments on TikToks and stuff, because I have a really young audience who want to be in bands themselves. I have an audience of people who want to be in a relationship with somebody in a band. I have an audience I have a lot of men in bands that have partners that want babies in the future. I have people who are in relationships with people in bands that have kids, and I have people that are solo parent full time, and I have people that don't. And I get a lot of feedback from it, and I get people thanking me for sharing it. I get people asking me questions, and I'm just delivering it. I'm just being honest. But yeah, I think the main part of it is because I share my life as part of my job, and I never ever want to convey just a perfect image, because that's not the reality. And one thing about me is I don't struggle to offload. I don't struggle to be honest about things. I wish that when I was pregnant, or when me and Faisal were thinking about maybe having a family, that there was somebody who was posting this stuff so I could have a bit more of an idea of what it was actually like. That's a massive part of it. I've got friends in my life who want kids in the future who are with people in bands, and I get that's like another way of me to share without having to send like 50 million messages as well. I think because my family is spread out, Faisal's family is spread out, my friends and his friends are all spread out, so sometimes it is just quicker to just like post online what's happening so that I don't need to like message loads of people. I hope that makes sense. I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, feel free to ask another one. I've got no problem answering them. Pregnancy nausea hacks. I'm not going to say ginger. I'm not going to say it. I would never invalidate you by saying ginger. I don't think it didn't work for me. These are really generic, so I'm really, really sorry if they are. You've heard them before. The biggest one for me is just eating as much as possible. Even if you're gonna bring it up, just trying to eat as much as possible. And it's, when you're pregnant and you wake up, even if you just have mild nausea or sickness, when you wake up, you know you need to eat first thing, but it's really difficult to, but please, please, please promise me you eat first thing. You eat, obviously, it's hard as well because you want to eat before you go to bed, but then you're going to lie down and feel sick. So I would sleep kind of propped up if you can. Fizzy water, like sparkling water, fizzy drinks. Obviously aim for no sugar and decaf. They're not healthy for you. Fizzy drinks aren't healthy for you, full stop, obviously. But I did find that decaf and no caffeine fizzy drinks, won't mention the brand because boycotting them, that's really helped. So with pregnancy nausea, you'll find that you'll have a snack that really works, but then after a few days you can't even go back. So like for me, I just worked my way through different crisps. That helped. Like French fries, because they're like thin and hard, so like French fries worked for me. Takeaways, I know they're really expensive and I'm literally paying for it now because I didn't work for them. I literally would just message Faisal every day like, I'm really sorry, can you send me 20 quid? I actually just need a curry. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but takeaways helped. Squash, like constantly sipping squash because you need to hydrate. And anything like fizzy, sour sweets, again, none of this is healthy. I don't know how this worked for me, but hummus and pita bread have worked for me. Well, just like savoury snacks, breakfast bars, squares bars, Cocoa Pops bars. I'm not advocating an unhealthy diet, but the only thing that stopped me feeling sick or being sick that is food related was processed foods. Also, anti-sickness tablets. So if you do find that your nausea is really affecting your life, you can take anti-sickness. Now I know it's called anti-sickness, so I do think people think that they should only take it if they're being sick. Obviously consult your doctor because I'm not a medical professional, but it did help a little bit with my nausea. I had HG for a couple of weeks, so it was pretty severe, but the anti-sickness tablets did help a little bit with nausea. Crunching ice cubes, ice lollies, anything super, super cold. Celery sticks, if you can manage fruit or veg. I know a lot of us with sickness can't. I did try the anti-sickness, like the travel sickness bands in my first pregnancy. They didn't do anything. Those are my things that kind of worked. I know everybody's different. I hope one of those was useful. The main thing is we just have to suffer through it. And I know that's not what anybody wants to hear, but yeah, it's difficult. And I feel like the advice that a lot of people give, which is generic, like ginger, doesn't work. I'm so sorry if you're going through it still. It's just the worst. Even if you're not being sick, sometimes when you have nausea, even if you're not pregnant, you kind of want to be sick, don't you? Just so you have a little bit of relief. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, it's the worst. Keep eating as much as you can, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's healthy or not. Just eat. Interesting dreams. Oh my God. I don't know if I can't remember who asked this, but I don't know if if you're a parent or whatever, but if you're a mum and you're pregnant, I have nightmares, like nightmares every day. They're not interesting. They're really mundane. Their nightmare, and it literally will be a nightmare, is that I've argued with Faisal and he stormed out the house, which has never happened. I think it might have happened once, actually. No, he went for a walk for like 5 minutes, came back, and it was like nothing happened. We don't really argue. Anyway, it's just their nightmares, but about really mundane things. I'd love to give you some extreme, crazy plot that you'll steal and turn into a movie, but they're just nightmares. I just have nightmares a lot being pregnant, but that is meant to be really common. I also get them on my period. I imagine other people do as well, but it must be something to do with hormones or body temperature fluctuating or whatever. What is the absolute worst and absolute best thing about being pregnant? Let's start with the absolute best. The absolute best thing is like the actual like just creating life. Like, what on earth is that? Like, that's just insane. I've spoken about it a lot, literally sat in this chair. But like, you just the fact that you're growing a human, but you're not actively thinking like, okay, so I want this eye to be brown. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just sat here and you're just doing it. Like, it's crazy and it's wild, and I enjoy the glow when I've got makeup on. If I don't have makeup on, I'm so ugly at the minute. I think it's because I'm like pasty and tired, but now that I'm in the second trimester and I've got makeup on, I am looking in the mirror for the first, because after my first baby, for the past year of postpartum, I've had a real struggle looking in the mirror. I found it really difficult. But now that I'm pregnant and I've got a bit of a glow, I don't mind that much, which I haven't had in like so long. It's really nice. I know that's really superficial and vain, but it's nice to look in the mirror. It's nice to look in the mirror and not hate what I see. That's been really cool. The excitement that it's bringing the rest of my family as well, that's really, really beautiful, because it's nice to make people happy, isn't it? Yeah, I just think the fact that I'm just, there's a miracle going on in my body right now, which is, yeah. And just the fact that I just feel so lucky that I'm blessed to be in a position where I can do that. I feel like the luckiest person in the world to be able to do that. Absolute worst, obviously got to be the symptoms, I think. Yeah, I think the symptoms. Why am I getting upset? I think the worst thing about being pregnant this time is the fact that I now think I have depression, because my first trimester was so bad with the having, I never say this word right, hyperemesis. It's not Gradivarium. HG. It's really embarrassing. I should just learn it because I've had it. But I don't even learn the medications I'm on for my period because I don't want to give it that much attention. I know that makes no sense. Yeah, not being able to put into words how hard it is. And this is only when in like the extremes. So I know Faisal will never ever truly understand what it's like to go through how am I getting upset? I'm all right in the minute because I'm at the start of my second trimester, like I'm feeling a bit better. But yeah, just the fact that like, so nobody in my like immediate family or circle have had HG and I can't put it into words. You can't convey these things in words. That's difficult because I know that people really want to understand and people want to know and they can't. And there's, yeah, I do feel that them yearning to know, but also me not being able to vocalize it in a way that makes it sound as bad as it is. It's just, yeah, and the symptoms, and I think everything related to the symptoms, the impending doom, because I couldn't walk in my third trimester. Towards the end of it, I had to go maternity leave early, self-employed, so I wasn't earning any money at all. Yeah, it's just the symptoms, I think. Are you hoping for a boy or a girl? I'm gonna be really, really honest here. I don't mind, but Faisal wants a boy. I mean, at the end of the day, Faisal really just wants a healthy baby, but if he could choose, he wants a boy. I don't mind. To be brutally honest, I would save a lot of money if it was a girl, because everything I've got, apart from like half of Athena's clothes, is like girl stuff. Things that people have bought us have all been girly things. I try and buy garish / neutral / boy things. So like financially a girl would be easier, but I think Athena would prefer a brother because again, she's boisterous, she's not very girly. I know that's crazy to say about a 1-year-old and whatever, but you know, she's not like a little girl toddler. She's more, yeah, she gravitates towards boys when she's in playgroups or soft play because she just has that kind of energy. So I think she'd like a brother. I think she probably wants someone to fight with. I know Faisal's family want a boy. It would just be lovely for Faisal to have a son. I mean, he was born to be a girl dad. Faisal for sure. He's such a good girl dad, but I would like to have a son for him. But I don't have any feeling either way. I used to at the start. I thought it was a girl, but that's just because I never imagined myself growing a boy. But I think that's because I knew Athena. Like, I've always known she was in me. I've always known Athena. We did the nub theory and everybody says it's a boy, so it could be a boy, but we're finding out, well, a week today we will already know, and I'm gonna film it and I am gonna put it on YouTube. I'm gonna put it in Vlogmas, so it will be a Vlogmas episode finding out, because I vlogged it last time. Yeah, and so by the time this video goes out, it won't be long before we all know. That's exciting. How do you feel about having 2 under 2? I'm nervous for the logistics. Will I ever sleep? Will I ever eat? Will I ever have a hot drink again? Solo parenting 2 under 2 is gonna be a big thing. But I feel like I'm ready. It's a weird feeling of, I know it's going to be really tough and difficult, and I'm going to cry a lot and I'm going to get stressed, but I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready for it. I feel like I'm ready for the fact that I have no idea what to expect. I'm not naive. I know that I don't know what's in store for me, but I'm ready to do it. I feel like I've got parenting down. I'm still obviously learning logistics and learning how to ask for help and learning all those other things, but I feel like instinctively I know what I'm doing and I feel like I'm ready, and I feel like 2 under 2 is going to be so beautiful in the future. I feel like the next couple of years are going to be extremely difficult while having a baby and a toddler and then a toddler and a toddler and me in 5 years time. I feel like I'm going to be a completely different person, and I'm ready for that. I'm ready to adapt everything. I'm ready to adapt my career again if I need to, and the fact that they're going to be so close in age, I think in the future is going to really help me, especially when Faisal's on tour, because they will have each other. They should be at the same kind of stage. Even if they're not into the same things, they're going to be at the same stages, you know? There's less than 2 years between them. It's crazy. There's less than 2 years between my younger sisters, and they were always at like very similar stages. So I bet that definitely helped my mum and dad, like them being in similar things. Even just like soft play, they'll be in similar parts in the future. Not right now, but I think in the long run I'll be really grateful, especially when Faisal goes on tour. They'll have each other to lean on, because they're both gonna be missing him, and I won't know how they feel because I've never had my dad be in a band and go on tour. So I feel like them being close in age as well in the future is just gonna be great. Yeah. But yeah, I am, the logistics are nervous, but I'll document everything. Have you thought of any names? Yes, if it's a boy, we know the full name. We've had the full name figured out since I was pregnant with Athena, because at the start we didn't know. So if it's a boy that I'm having, then I know the full name. If it's a girl, we know the first name, and I'm so excited about it because it's just, I don't think people would expect it. But I don't know middle names yet. That's something that I need to figure out. But yeah, I love them. I love the names. And the thing is, because Athena, the meaning behind the name is so big and dramatic, the next baby's name has to hold as much weight. So can't be like, no disrespect to anybody with this name, but it can't be like Athena and Paul. You know what I mean? No disrespect to any Pauls out there. It just, they don't go together, do they? So it needs to be a name with a really cool meaning, and I'm excited to find out. Somebody has asked, will you be staying in Sheffield? Definitely for the next year. After that, I can't lie, guys, I don't know. Now, it's a really tough call, because do you know what it is? I just miss Liverpool so much. I can't explain how much I miss it. And I was speaking to my friend about it, and she was like, why don't you just like come to Liverpool more, like just spend more time in Liverpool, and then, you know, that might like satisfy it. But I don't know if it would. It's so difficult. It's like, there's nothing wrong with Sheffield, I just don't feel at home here. And neither does Faisal. I mean, Faisal has nothing to do with Sheffield, so it's just, apart from like here, and I'm not from here. We just, my sister's here and my mum is here, but we're not actually from here. We moved here years ago. Yeah, I just don't feel settled here. I've got good friends here, I've got some family here, but I don't feel at home here, and it's really weird. Like, it's a really weird feeling not feeling settled somewhere, even though like there's nothing wrong. It's just a feeling. And I was saying to Faisal, like, we either live somewhere where I'm happy and have no family there, or we live somewhere that I'm not so happy but have family there. And I think that's something I'm going to be considering over the next year. I mean, it might get to a point where I need family around the corner, so I have to stay, but then I'm going to be miserable, because I do feel I guess I am a little bit miserable here. It's not Liverpool. And we didn't ever want to leave Liverpool. We love it there. We just had to, because we had to be near family. So it's something that me and Faisal like seriously need to talk about. And we've mentioned it like briefly, but obviously he's been away for months, so we've not had that proper conversation. Was it planned? Yes, but it was a surprise, because we'd only really just seriously started considering the thought of having a second, and then I just get pregnant. So it was a surprise. Technically planned, but not expected. What is something you would do differently? I'm gonna wait much longer before I have visitors. I was robbed so much of the newborn phase because of Athena's tongue tie, which I am going to do a video on. I've done the script, just need to film it, which I feel like I've said so many times. But yeah, I was completely robbed of the newborn phase, and I want to, this time, because it's going to be the last, I just want to be selfish and just completely enjoy it and not think about anybody else but my little bubble of me, the baby, my other baby, my husband, and our cat. Who sat behind me looking very cute and orange. And I said this to Faisal and he completely agrees. He's completely on board. He's like, absolutely. He obviously doesn't know what I went through, but he saw it. And I don't think he's ever seen me in that like much of a state before. And we've been through some stuff together, let me tell you. But I don't think he's ever seen me that traumatized. Yeah, because on like paper I've been through way worse than that. But yeah, that I don't want to look back and think. And even though I was so good at like setting boundaries and stuff, and people were great, like our families are amazing. I couldn't ask for better in-laws. I couldn't ask for a better family. They were so understanding, and couldn't ask for better people in my life. But I look back at that newborn stage and everything with so much regret, and I hate that because I don't really look back and regret. I don't really look back, to be fair. I reflect now and then, see how far I've come. I'm not stuck in the past. I don't live in the past, but I regret that so much, and I just struggle. I just wish I could like go back on my phone and look at photos of videos from when she was that young and like oh, instead I can't. If my phone shows me a photo like that, like more often than not I have to put my phone away because I can't go back there, and I can't have that again. I can't go through that again. So I want to enjoy this time. So I've said to Faisal, like, I don't want any visitors for a month unless I out of the blue suddenly change my mind, in which case fine, people can come, and I'm perfectly entitled to do that because it's my baby. I've grown the baby. It's whatever I say goes, and Faisal is so understanding of that and so supportive of that. And I know he just wants me to be happy, and I know that he wants me to have a good experience because he had an amazing experience. Not me, obviously not seeing me go through things and doing that. Like obviously he doesn't enjoy that and didn't enjoy that at all. But obviously there was nothing going on with his body. There was nothing happening to him. Nothing actually physically happened to him, so he was able to enjoy it, and I'm glad of that, and I'm glad that he looks back with fond memories. At least I hope he does. But yeah, I'm not going to have visitors for at least a month. I know that's going to kill people, but I don't care. And I think as well, another main reason is it's going to be such a massive change for Athena. She's only going to be what, like, she's going to be like 18 months old. I don't know how yeah, like 18 months old, 19 months old. That's still so young. Like, I don't think she'll I don't think she's old enough now for me to be like, I'm pregnant. Like, she's like, what are you saying? If I say anything to her, she's like, pepper, water, banana. Like, do you know what I mean? So she's still too young. Maybe in a couple months time, like, she might get it, but I just don't think she'll fully understand it. If she was 2 years old, it'd be different. I think I'd be able to tell her, wouldn't I? But she's just too young, and it's going to be such a crazy change for her, and I don't know if she'll be this boisterous when in like 6 months time. She just lobs things about, and like we need good long time for her to just like accept this new thing that's taken up all of my energy. So is what I want Athena to have, a really long time of just like adjusting, of just figuring out what this thing is, looking at it, and just like knowing that that's it now. It's a new human for her, and I wanted to get used to that before we then start having visitors. I think that's probably the only thing I'll do differently. I'm really happy with how I dealt with everything else. Oh no, something else I'll do differently is pre-book a tongue tie appointment, a private tongue tie appointment, just in case the baby has a tongue tie, because that's what triggered everything last time. So sort that out. So I want to be able to like breastfeed and not cry and have like big blisters and stuff. I'm gonna wrap this video up here because I have been speaking for over half an hour now. If you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments or message me. I'm happy to answer them. Really hope you've enjoyed this video. Big love to everybody out there. Have a beautiful rest of your day, your week, whatever you're doing, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.